This is Justin on Wednesday, December 7th, 2022, looking at SPY. I was trying to get some setups to look over on SPX, and you just got to go much further out of the money. And with today's expiration, and it just nothing really worked that well. So we didn't have much of a directional day like we've been having. Inside day, no gap, kind of gap down a little bit into the wick, but with the 100 right here, we just kind of were running into that and then bounced. Here's the 3 minute. I'm looking for like a 10 EMA setup, and if you don't know what that means, click the link in the description. But here's a bull candle below the 10. It's after this big drop. Yes, technically that does trigger on this candle, but it's already so far down, that's a trap. And sure enough, it bounced. And then you're looking for a bear candle above the 10. Here's another big move back up. So like this candle, we did get a close above it here, but it had already been negated by this candle, then this candle. So that didn't really work. Here we're back below, here we're back above. Here's a bear candle closing above. After this big run, you're right at this resistance, put in a double top, and all these bulls got trapped and it got sunk even lower. It's just back and forth for the first couple hours, first 2 hours of the day there. It was just like that. Then kind of started to slow down. So it's like, okay, if people are trying to pick directions, and then it's like, okay, it's down here, it's going to bounce again, right? Because we were up here and we sold off. So, I missed that one. So let's get into this one. And they were right. So people down here are like, all right, I missed this place to buy. I'm going to buy here. And then it just like trickles around and barely moves. And you get out of frustration more than anything. So after this kind of played out, there's a little bit more of like a multi-bottom sort of pattern here, like this. And so like we were kind of channeling here, and it starts to break out, and then here's your retest. And this is a really nice kind of retest. It actually looks a little better on the SPX. High wave candle right here. You could definitely take this bullish. This would be the setup. Get in above this. Let's try that again. Get in above this candle so it triggers on the very next candle. Your stop at least needs to be down here below this bull candle, ideally down here. And again, without knowing what's happening next, you don't obviously know that it's going to come down this far, but it makes sense because we kind of just retested 50% and then continued on out. But if this is what you set up here, like this, you would have stayed in the trade. You would have been up some over here, and then you got to decide, okay, what do my rules say? What am I going to do here? But let's go look at a call and see what's going on. So I'm actually looking at Thursday's expiration call, the 395. Some of the options for today's expiration just didn't have great volume. So I thought, okay, this is a little better volume. Let's see what the setup is here. You're getting in above this candle, so let's buy at 150. You can get your stop down here at 110, maybe one, a little more comfortably, even possibly like 125. But I'd go a little further away because that, instead of 125, do 110 and then be able to move it up to 125, but you would have been stopped out right here if you had gotten that tight and that aggressive. So I don't recommend that. You want to see typically some sort of retest or have a place to move your stop up midway into that kind of a bullish move. And it's not much of a bullish move, but same thing over here where we sold off right here. We did end up retesting back up around this area, not quite, that would have been having an upper wick up here, but at least we retested into kind of this range later on. And so when that happens, you kind of anticipate that. So, that would have been a great target. This area just having some choppiness, some rest, didn't get there. So it's like, okay, if that's your target, 1.9. So if you're in at 1.5 and you got your stop down at 1.1, 1.9 is a 1 hour target. It didn't even get there. So it's going sideways here. What do? You can obviously move your stop up to here. And then the more it's going sideways, it's like, okay, this, it's been a choppy day. I don't think I'll get it. And then you get that bear candle closing below the 10. That kind of, if you weren't in, that would negate the trade saying, okay, don't take it. So now you're looking for an exit. And right after that happens, you're in the trade long enough, it gets back to be positive and you can get out for about break even. Not great, but that's one way to play the trade. You would need to be watching it for that to happen. If you didn't, then hopefully you get your stop tightened up to here or to here, and you're out for a small loss, and then you get this candle come in. Let's go back to go back to the chart because that candle is right here. You actually had some consolidation right here. But this is a really good bear setup. So you got a bull candle closing below the 10. You have a really good place to put a stop here or here. Either one of those would work. This one's probably ideal just because you got it outside of the range of that kind of compression there. But you want to get in on a breakdown here. And then when this bull candle comes in, if you have time, you can actually tighten it up a little bit and maybe get into a few more, well, at least have a little more wiggle room if you can get a better price. So again, if we switch over, let's go look at today's put. So this is the 395 put from today. Here's the compression. Here's where we got this kind of consolidation here. Here's the bear candle. So again, bear candle, we're looking at the put, so it's flipped. So you can get in here at 170, get your stop down comfortably at like 120. So that's with $100 risk, you can get two of those contracts. It starts to work. I mean, even this candle's really small here. You could possibly get in at 160 and a stop down at 110 if you wanted to move all that, or wait for it to trigger and you're in a little bit higher price, but you know, it's already moving your direction quite a bit. And then that stayed positive for a while. And so if your setup is 1.7 with the stop of 1.2, your target is 2.2 for 1 hour, or if it's really working pretty well, probably aim for one of these previous pivots, which would be around 2.5. And that actually worked. And all you had to do is maybe move your stop once, probably around like 1.4, just being below that kind of compression. And that actually would have worked. A bearish trade on an inside day where we were really, really, really choppy. If we take a step back out here, you can draw a bunch of lines on this to be like, oh, you know, that's why, but it's, you know, we were just making some lower highs and even just this kind of compression here. We got right back into retesting that level twice today. We were just making lower highs here, and then yesterday and today really just kind of sideways with the lows. We'll see if something happens tomorrow. The 100's right down here. We could bounce off this. I was saying we'd have a double bottom shape coming in, or like a kind of a neckline coming in with the inverted head and shoulders. See if that does anything. Pushed up a little bit, but ran right into all of this as resistance and just stayed down here. So needed kind of a resting day. We did end up with a bullish candle on the daily. So if we gap down, I mean, we've already taken out this candle from last Wednesday, and this was like a Fed announcement sort of day. We're already below that. We've had a close below that day. We have not taken out that volume, but we're already below that much buying volume. We're not in a great place. Really, the main thing we've got here is the 100. We've been down here before. I thought that, I just realized I can just delete all the rest of this because I'm pointing. I thought, or I hoped that we would actually come down here, tag the 100 and then go that day, or at least this day. I thought we'd come down, tag the 100 this day and then go. The fact that we didn't do it there, I thought, okay, maybe we'll have some bullishness come in, get above the 200 and go that way. Nope, that didn't happen. We're already below there. I don't think I've looked at this on the SPY. These it looks like a tweezer. The low is 18 cents apart. Pretty close. Not an exact tweezer, but looks close enough. Anyway, where we're at right now, it's really decision time. If we can stay above the 100, we can compress for a little while. If we take out the 100, I mean, there's a gap here to be filled. We could move down to the low 380s on SPY tomorrow. I mean, it's entirely possible. If we get a gap down in the morning and then continue lower, the next support is maybe down around 375, nice kind of round number, you know, the quarters numbers on this ticker. You had some levels through here that made this more of like a inverted head and shoulders, that you got this initial kind of retest. This could be a bigger retest, but that means lower. That means bearishness coming. I don't know what strength this has to bounce back up, but if we can stay above the 100, it's possible to just compress here some more. But I don't know that we're going to be running. We totally could, but who knows? So yeah, up, down, or sideways, right? Let's see what happens tomorrow. We get a gap down, look out below, be ready, be prepared for that to move lower. Between, so I was looking at these 2 days, looking kind of at tweezers. These 2 days are off by 33 cents. The lows are apart by 33 cents. So again, this kind of looks like some tweezer bottoms there. Yeah, we'll see if we can hold any of this. We've done this before, you know, over in here, we ran into the 100, held it, or at least kind of got back above it on some of these candles. The market looks much different than it did back here. We're still kind of going back up, ran into the 200. So I think we kind of did that here where we, you know, gapped up, ran through the 200 or through the 100, held the 100 there. We'll see if we can hold it again. All right, hope that helps. This is Justin. Thanks.